guys. Good morning. It's just a coffee chat because I'm hot today, but I do have maybe it's a bit premature, but anyway, last night it was a little bit chillier. Like Perth had a bit of rain and it got cold. So anyway, I decided to just go with some longer pants. But these, Peter Alexander, so soft. Sensory heaven, I mean. Right, there's a few topics I want to talk about. First of all, please follow Christian Hull on YouTube. I know he's on TikTok, but on YouTube, because he really does bring about some very... I like how he does it in a comedy way, but then also he even admits himself this is bad. I'm outing Australia right now about the things we used to stand for and what we've ended up doing. And he pointed out, so if you go and look at his video, it'll be recent, after I've posted this video, it'll be in his recents about renting in Australia and what people are considering a rental situation. Disgusting, okay? But first I want to talk about an Australian girl who's a single mum who, by the way, studies full-time and apparently escaped DV. So, stop judging. She's in government housing, which, yes, it is subsidized to match her low income. Our incomes, like my DSP, which I have no choice to be on, right? My syndrome is when you're 50, it's like you're 80. So, like any 80-year-old who sits around and says, I could die any day. That's kind of me. Okay, that's just my reality. I have to live with that. So, I live my best life. I live my, I guess it's medical retirement, I guess you could consider it. But I have worked. I have done it hard. I have been like a sole parent at times. I have been through some really tough situations, and I mean like full on, non-stop from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. for decades as a mum who also had aspirations to study, to work. And yes, I went in and out of work because of my disability, but having 22q, guys, it's amazing I did that when you look at most 22qers. So, they're picking on her because she saved her money. And I want to make something perfectly clear. I'm the same. I get judgments all the time on what I might spend my money on because I'm on disability, okay? But my issue with that, just like this poor single mum who is doing her best, what else can she do to get herself out of the situation she's in, except for full-time study? And it does get you places, by the way. However, our Centrelink, which is what our social security is called, even they realise the difficulty in getting off the system, and they don't want it to be that way either. So let's just get our head in the game here. Even families with 2 working parents can't get by. So leave her alone, okay? You want her and her kids on the street, do you? You don't want her to be in government housing? Is that what the issue is? Do you know back in the day, some of you working people, and you boomers are in this, some of you working people, now look, if this isn't you and you're a boomer, don't be offended, please, because if it wasn't you having these opportunities, then nothing. But there were boomers that were living in government and banks who owned houses for such a low rental cost, which enabled them to live a great life in the same house for decades. That wasn't my generation. No, we had to move every year if we were renting until we purchased. So let's just understand that, okay? And boomers bought a property for $10,000, a block of land for $10,000, build a house for 15 to 20,000, and then the next minute it's worth $1 million. Yeah. Or at least it goes up, you know, some people do it in stages. That goes up to 150,000. Then they go buy something for 180,000 and that turns into millions. That's how it happens. I have parents who are boomers, okay? But it's not like that now. There is no boom. There will never be a boom again, I don't believe. And in fact, because the boomers own so many houses, my children can't afford to buy a house. And they work their butt off. This girl is on single parent benefits, yes, but she's studying full time. She's buying herself a car because what does she do? She doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, she didn't buy coffee, she didn't buy takeaway, she stopped purchasing all this rubbish and things that we all are guilty of buying. You know, you go to Kmart for one thing and you come out with 50. No, not 50. But you know, you come out with 5 things or something. Okay, she has what you call financial discipline. I'm the same. If I put my mind to something, I'll sit down. The only thing that gets in my way is Sir. Because, you know, he's sort of a different mentality to me. Whereas I can sacrifice hard. Like I can have that hyper focus if I'm going to get that. So if you sit down, even, it doesn't matter what you earn, and this is the truth that you guys out there that are hating on her, this is what you don't want to hear. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you can do it. But the discipline it takes to live off really sort of like food, and to not drink and smoke, to not go and buy things from Kmart. There you go, Bubba. To not be able to buy new clothes, buy new shoes, and just stick to the bare essentials and save, and miss out on a lot of, you know, those days where it's you're having a bad day and you're like, I just want to buy myself a nice coffee, you know, like a nice special because I deserve this treat. Oh, while I'm here, I'll get a macaroon. Think about it, okay? She sacrificed that. Yet people are saying, oh, I work and I can't even afford that. Yeah, well, I bet you if you look at your budget, no, actually, you probably don't even have a budget because you're that comfortable. And I'm talking about the comfortable. I'm not talking about you guys on income who are not comfortable. I'm not talking about you who are struggling to pay bills even though you earn money. I'm not talking to you because that's not fair. You're doing your best and keep doing your best. But keep finding the government and the politicians of what they earn because it is not right what's going on for you guys. But I'm just saying, like, for these people saying it probably are comfortable. And I bet you they can't go without their latte. I bet you they can't go without their, you know, their meal out and their bottle of wine, especially the fancy one that they might like. Come on, guys. Discipline is what it is. Discipline. I know when I was young and we had a young family and I was studying young, I used to eat tin veggies out of the tin. Didn't even bother putting it in a plate because I didn't have the time to wash the plate. Didn't have a dishwasher in those days. That's what I did. I remember watching Erin Brockovich one day and going, that's true. That's true. When you are poor and you've got kids and you want them to get the best of everything and you just want to like get by and you got to pay for your books, you got to pay for your fees, you got to pay for certain outfits because if you're doing like prac, you've got to have like a uniform, certain types of shoes. I mean, guys, like even when I went for the stat test, which is I tried to get into university doing the stat test, but ended up going, didn't matter anyway because I was already on the way, on the journey because I was doing my TAFE, which was directed me towards university. But I was trying to save some money and time. Glad that it didn't happen though, because I think doing welfare at TAFE first for a year and a half was the best prep for university, right? Because university is not easy. Okay, well, it kind of is now. Wasn't when I was at university. It was very, very hard. They were very hard on us. And basically, I'm telling you, like, to get by is really tough. Okay, I used to skip meals because nappies, formula. I had an autistic son. I had 2 kids in nappies for a year at the same time, for a year. Okay, plus formula for both of them because my eldest had severe recurrent ear infections. Okay, he was not well and needed toddler formula to keep up his, vitamins, minerals, because he wasn't able to eat sometimes, because if he was high fevered, he couldn't eat, he'd be irritable, or he'd throw it up. So the poor kid was so sick, but he loved the comfort of his milk. So I would make sure it had the nutrients. And then I had a baby, because I can't breastfeed. I just don't have the right equipment for that. Let's just put it that way. So I just don't have the right nipple for that. So anyway, that was Jesus's fault, God's fault, whatever. I couldn't breastfeed. So I had to bottle feed both my babies. So my younger one was still on bottles and I kept him on formula because you want them to get the nutrients for as long as they can, because their diet is so hit and miss. I never used to force my kids to eat the way I did. Like when I was a child, I was forced to eat certain veggies and forced to eat. I'm encouraging, and I will sit with them and I'll make it fun as to make the faces on the sandwiches and faces on the plate to try and get them to eat them. But yeah, you can't always win, all right? Choose your battles, right? And I'm studying full time a lot when my kids were under 5. So to get myself through that, guys, to be able to afford the cost of parking at university, the cost of everything to do with the university. I remember my psychology books were over $100 each. This is 2000 and 2001 and 2002. Okay? This is back then. So, and then of course I've got them, they need to eat. My boys needed to eat. Jeez. And my, sir needed to eat, and I would sacrifice. I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not really hungry, and I would skip a meal or have a tiny bit of dinner so there was leftovers, or I'd eat tin vegetables out of tin corn was my favorite, out of a tin. So you know what? People do things to save money to actually make their dreams come true. And for me, I made my dreams come true. Going to TAFE University, I beat all the odds that most people with my learning disabilities, with my disability, don't achieve. And I'm not saying that that's because I'm anything special. It's because for some reason I had the right guidance around me to do that. But I'm sad that even myself, people are like, oh, the Shein orders are huge, blah, blah, blah. Guys, I don't drink and smoke. I don't get to enjoy food for a treat because I have gastroparesis, which is a severe thing. I don't get to enjoy anything but just the joy of just my little collections that I have. And that taps into my autism, which, we're like those birds that just collect things, Like we need a collection of things. You might buy a pen and then before you know it, you've got a collection of pens. I bought gemstones ever since I was a little girl when my mum would buy them for me. I have non-stop had gem shells. Did I say gem shells? Gems, but I used to collect shells as well as a little girl. But gems, I've had them since I was a child. Okay, I've had this interest in gems since I was a child. I've collected them. I have a massive collection. I did go to Shein and go, well, I want all these things because looking at them brings joy. But basically what I'm saying is we all have the same access to the same money, to be quite honest, as in pocket money. And what I mean by pocket money is it doesn't matter what you're on. There's always a little bit that you can take away and put aside. I know when we had to put down a deposit for our own home, buying in the boom. So think about this. We had to buy a house that was worth $90,000 the year before and pay $250,000. 1 year difference. But we had to have a deposit, a big one, like $24,000, and then $9,000 for just taxation to the government just because we're buying a house, which is disgusting. Oh, apparently they're taking it away. Well, we'll see, but so they say. Anyway, so I had to go to work and I had to hear my babies be like, Mum, I don't like after school care. Okay? That's not the mum I wanted to be. That was not what my Sir and I chose for our children. We wanted mum at home to nurture, to be there, to make sure that they feel like, you know, they're not just like, I don't know, on their own. Just extensions of like, just drag you along like, you know, oh, okay, child, yes, I'll feed you, yes, I'll do that. Some parents are like that, aren't they, guys? We all know those parents. I don't have the heart for that. And when I was at work working for this deposit, it would get to 3 o'clock and I'd cry. And my co-workers were like, okay? And I'm like, no, I want to be home with my babies. And then Centrelink would punish you with, you know, giving you a tax debt because they don't tell you to communicate about the payments, the difference between an at-home mum and it is crazy back then. If you think it's bad now, it was worse back then. Worse back then. They did not explain things properly. You never got paperwork and told your obligations, which, you know what, Mr. Albanese, I think you should start doing that, to be fair. And same with the voting. I don't watch mainstream TV, idiot. Okay, Mr. Albanese? Put something in the goddamn mail that says there is a state election that if you don't vote, you're going to get a fine. That'd be appreciated. Because I don't watch your rubbish, what do you call it, programming. I don't watch it. So, or Hunger Games. I mean, I actually do. Guilty. I do watch maths. But it is Hunger Games. And I'm a psychology person, so it's like when I see you do what you do, you psychologists that are on there that at the moment don't talk about your license because you're not allowed to say you're a psychologist on the show, are you? Why is that? Because you're unethical, you're disgusting, you are setting people up for failure on purpose for entertainment purposes. It's gross. But anyway, like Mr. Albanese, I think you should send everybody that's on benefits their responsibilities. Yeah. Anyway, basically, if this girl gave up what she gave up, I dare you people that say against her, okay, every day, no treats. Go on. See if you can do what she did to get what she got as a reward. Get rid of your fancy coffee every day or every other day or every weekend. Give up your takeaways. Give up your restaurant meals. Give up your alcohol. If you're a smoker, give up your smokes. Come on. I have done things too where I don't spend money on anything. Like I just said, I don't get to eat takeaway. I get a frozen Coke. That's my treat for $2, thank goodness. But if I could eat like a HJ's meal or a McDonald's meal, I would. But instead I buy Shein because I don't have a vice. I don't have something to bring me comfort to get through life. And everybody does it, guys. I've studied addictions at university as an elective, and I'll tell you this, everybody has addictions to something. It could be coffee. You know, I know I'm a coffee addict. Okay. I am addicted to drinking tea a lot. Yes, I do that a lot. What else? I'm addicted to chocolate. Like, we all have addictions. Okay. I'm addicted to music. I'm addicted to shopping. I've already admitted that. But like I said, my focus is on very cheap things because I'm on a budget. And I always make sure that there's a car budget and a budget for medicines. I budget everything. I'm talking about the pocket money. So I set aside $30 a fortnight for my resin. Resin's gone up to $90 for 3 litres. It's a lot of money. So I have to save up for it. So guys, if you're judging people for what they buy, money is actually a trick. And if you haven't mastered the discipline with your money, and look, if you're under 30, please just give yourself grace. Because an under 30-year-old, it's really tough actually to get a grip of money and the concept of how money works, because and I'll tell you why. I worked and was being trained. I didn't finish my training, but I was being trained as a financial counselor. And I'll tell you this, there's so much trickery by banks, by advertising, by shops. It's so hard, guys, okay? And when you're young, and we all have impulse control problems, and if you've got ADHD, it's going to be worse, or if you're a type A personality, that you guys can fall into that trap too of just impulse buy. So just understand, it is there to trick you, and it's working. When you get to about 30 plus, you start to look at things differently. You can't blame yourself for that. Age is, like, don't let anyone ever blame you for being young and stupid, because it's a rite of passage, okay? But basically, when you get to 30, do start to look at things. Like, I haven't had a credit card in, I'd say over 15 years now, or more. It's probably longer. I don't have a credit card. And ever since I haven't had a credit card, I have always got by. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that it's been easy, but I've never ended up with $0 in my bank. I always have a tiny, even if it has been tiny at times and very scary, I've had a tiny amount to fall back on. Now, that's in the crisis of, like, if you're unaware, this is Australian dollars. In my state, in my city, to rent, it is pretty much $900 to $1,000 a week for a house. Before this crisis, we were renting privately quite easily for $300 a week. Yes. Hasn't it changed? So anyway, it was okay because the timing was my NDIS, I don't know what lady they call her. She's my plan manager. I don't know, the managers that you have that's actually in the NDIS. I don't know. But anyway, she actually was like, hey, here you are, we can give you an SDA. And we were like, oh, thank goodness, because at the time we were renting and a family member had to top up the rent, or we would have been still homeless, probably living in our car. Sorry, flashbacks. Just, I never thought as an Australian that I would have ever been homeless. I was homeless as a child a lot, but we had family. But like, as an adult, twice. Anyway, sorry. So, we were lucky. And we needed it anyway because, as you've seen my change of circumstances, my 22Q at this age group is a quick decline. And boy, has it been a quick decline since my 40s. Anyway, so we are safe. We are in government housing. This is the same format, same plan as a government housing, except it's a disability, specialist disability housing. So we have ladies. We have homes which is for low-income families. We have disability for people like, ladies. It's very loud, isn't it? We have disability for people that might be able to still be kind of working, but not working enough to support themselves because they're disabled. And then we have specialist disability accommodation for people like me who cannot work and are too disabled and need a lot of supports around me. I have live-in support. So the level underneath me is where all my, like where the office is, where my supports are when they're sometimes not with me. it is a whole brilliant design. Love it. So my lifestyle has changed a lot, but I just feel that if I say I was staying in the category of just disability, I would have to be in a disability house. And I just think that judging us for what we spend our money on, especially when we're putting it back out to the economy. I mean, most of my, money goes on food in Australia, medical in Australia, and then petrol in Australia. Everything's from Australia. I mean, we got this for the cat for $10, okay? Kmart, Australia. Anyway, so yes, I do buy from Shein, but you know what, Albanese? Until you make it more affordable in Australia, and that's not some of the businesses' fault, but until you make it affordable, although the big corporate, you aren't in on it. I mean, you've bought the government, let's be bloody honest about that. But I just want to say, my cheap Shein haul that looks huge is some people's takeaways, restaurant meals, cigarettes, alcohol. Come on. Okay, and even my clothes. I mean, my dresses from Shein are $11. Most women will buy a dress for $30 plus, $30 to $120 maybe. Okay, so let's just chill. It's kind of on my level of income. And I don't buy all the time, and I don't have my own home. I have a 2007 car. I don't have good health. So, and just like this single mum, she's doing it hard, guys. And I tell you what, looking after kids on your own is tough. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's hard. It's hard. You have to wash your hair when they're asleep. Okay? Stop picking on people that you don't know. This person's sacrificed to get what she got. And I'm just sick of the judgments, and basically, if you really want to focus on where the money is, the politicians that are earning and ending up millionaires from suspicious activity, that there's no paper trail that we can all look at and go, how did you get millions? You earn this much per in an income, but income isn't wealth. Income isn't wealth. You pay tax on that, and it ends up being spent, because normally people buy a house that matches that income. And then, the best advice, so screw corporate, screw government, you're just like literally stealing money. So let's just not even talk. So go and bitch at them. But to you good ones, okay, live below your means. Say if your income is here, try and live below your means. That is the best trick I can tell you to make your money work for you. Make your money earn more money. So if you have any spare money, like I do it with my YouTube, I try to make videos, and sometimes I'll spend for those videos because I earn. Look, YouTube, hope this May changes is going to be good, because guys, I only get roughly 13 cents a video. Luckily, I'm not just here for the money. I'm here for the fact that this is my living journal. This is my passion. You guys are my connection around the world who are suffering like me with disability, of any one of my disabilities. So that's special to me, but that's how low it is. But the fact is, I do it anyway, because at the end of the month, that helps save other money, and it helps save money. And that money goes up and down. Like at the moment, I need to save because my laptop, that's a student laptop that's $400 worth when I first bought it, 8 years later, it's still going, but it's not happy. And now with the legal stuff, it's like we need a good computer. So I have to save. So I have to do what that girl does. So I'm going to find ways, and I'm going to cut back here and cut back there and cut back here and cut back there. And guys, you can do it. If you get an Excel spreadsheet, do a whole year plan of your budget, or at least 6 months. Lay it all out, look at what you're looking at, and please, if you've got credit cards, get rid of them. I promise you, they are not a safety tool. Put a savings amount, choose an amount, whatever is relevant to your income. Set it aside and say, it doesn't matter if it's only $500, it doesn't matter. Leave it. Sit it there. Say, that's for an emergency. Second recommendation is, like I said, get rid of your credit cards. Just pay them off, pay them off, pay them off. Get rid of them. Those people want you indebted to them. And then you're wasting money on giving them interest. And you're giving them interest on your own money that's sitting in the bank that you keep getting given, whether you get money through payments from, like I do, for disability, or whether you're on income, or both, because some people are on both. Some people with disability, like I have in my past, have studied and worked. But basically that money, they're using your money to earn it, to lend to others to earn that interest back. So you can do what that lady did on any income. You also need to realize that credit cards are a false security. You can create your own credit card. So you know you have a credit card limit. Save that and put it in a separate bank account. You can get separate bank accounts that don't have a card. They're good. I've got one of them. It doesn't have a card. It is in your bank. It is in a separate bank account. So if you're out and about, you can't impulsively spend it because it's in a separate bank account. Because you don't want, and you just set that as a limit as if it's a credit card. But yet you're your own creditor. So if you spend the money, are you going to charge yourself interest? Well, you could. And then put that more of the money in savings. I do that all the time. When I have to dip into the savings, and normally it's for things like it's a new fridge, it's a, car tires or whatever. You know what I do? I replace it with a little bit extra just to go, let's just add a little bit extra. Let's just up it a bit. Let's just challenge myself. So it's almost like I'm paying myself interest. Be your own bank. A bit like for Monopoly when you played the game. You play strategy, right? Well, I'm not good at that. I'm not a good Monopoly player because I am autistic. But then again, sometimes with other games, being autistic is a benefit. But anyway, these are the tips that do work, guys. Buy these insulated mugs. Put a hot cup of coffee or tea. Take it out with you. It'll last a long time. Same with cold drinks, okay? Invest in these, all right? Yes, they're expensive, the decent ones. Spill-proof if you're disabled like me. Fill that up with really cold favourite beverage of the day and take it everywhere you go. And you'll save money. $4 something in Australia. Australian dollars, $4.50, $4.75. At a supermarket for a 600 ml, or is it 400? No, the bottles, I don't know whether they're 4, 5 or 600 mils, but you could do that on the daily. Add that up in a year. Add everything up in a year. So if you say, oh, but it's just a coffee, how much am I going to save? Save up that coffee money on your calculator for a year. What do you buy a week? Make that a year and go, what really do I want to spend that money on? Because I could just put one in these cutesy little things and actually put it aside and just take it everywhere I go. Take it to Coles, take it to Woolies, sip on it. At least I can't say you stole it. Just seriously, just even the frozen Cokes, like I'm actually going to look into those slushy makers that you can buy. I can make my own. I can make exactly the same thing that they make me and charge me $2 for and give me a paper straw. I've got like silicone straws. So guys, creativity. And please, if you want to look at budget meals, they don't have to be disgusting. I had many budget meals to pay our mortgage. And I'm telling you, Pinterest is your friend on this one. Look at Pinterest. If you don't have a Pinterest, set it up. Look at money saving tips. There is just, I cannot. There is just so many things to save money. So many things to save money. It's just not even funny. Including cheap recipes that taste absolutely delicious, but does take planning. It's all about planning. Like, yes, you're going to have to, like, there's a bit more manual labor involved, but you know what? That's what life's about. Convenience is great and all, but, and you know, if it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you, but you know, sometimes it can make us unhealthy. Our hearts need to be up and moving, you know, our bodies need to be up and moving. That's what's made us have to go to the gym. Having cars. We don't walk anywhere. We don't, now, lucky for me because I'm disabled, it's kind of a good thing. But if you're not disabled, right, these are the things and reasons why we have to make up for it in exercise. I wish I could still do it. If I could still do it, I'd be at the gym every day trying to get my body strong. But I just can't because of my heart. I can't risk it. But basically, there's so many ways to save. Check out Pinterest. And even just, there's probably many vloggers, TikTokers, bloggers, galore that probably can help you save money. And so whether you're a single parent, a family, a couple, a person on your own, there is many strategies to make your money just, you'll be amazed. Your money is power, guys, and it's your power. And if you're working, that money is your control and independence of your life. Okay, these banking companies, well, I guess they are companies. These bankers know this. Be your own bank. Have your own things ready to go. If you're saving for a boat, if you're saving for a caravan, put it in the budget now. Just get it going. I don't care if it's only, you know, you're a family and you can only put in $100 a month. Just start. Put it in this Excel spreadsheet, put a line, saving for caravan, $100. Just do it. And even things like that, if you can't afford a caravan, get a van that's your everyday car that you also use as a travel van. There's just so many things, guys. It's just the only thing that you're going to have to give up. And this is where people fail. So before I wrap up, I'll tell you where people fail. They fail because they don't want to give up being cool. That's why I'm saying 30 plus people, 30 years and plus age group people only understand this. Being cool is just dumb. It's dumb. It's a trap. It's like what we were put through in adolescence. Oh, I've got to be cool. And I'm not saying like, I'm not judging here where I'm like, you're so stupid. No, you're not. We all did it. When I was in my 20s, I was like, oh yeah, I've got to pretend to be this person. I've got to achieve everything. I've got to be so evolved and so amazing. And same within your adolescence. It's like, I've got to be cool. I've got to be so cool. Oh, I better do this. And I better wear mascara. But just not let mum know. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. But basically, you know, I just found ways of, getting by without, luckily for me though, guys, look, with autism, I've been picked on. You know, oh, you're just going to eat a Vegemite sandwich. We're like buying, you know, stuff at the bakery. You got to treat yourself, you know. You're going to get peer pressure. You're going to get peer pressure, and you just need to say, nope, I've got goals at the moment and I'm going to reach them, and no, I'm just not going to participate in purchasing at the moment. So instead of giving it to this business, I'm going to use it for my own needs that I've got at the moment, as in normally they're a want. Because let's be honest here, a car is a car, it gets you from A to B. But if you do want a nice car, you just have to save. It's better to do it for yourself too, because I tell you what, as soon as you get that sense of, I did that myself. Like I said, even as kind as our family member was to get us through that horrific time when we were being extorted, guys, the rent was going up crazy fast and we were not prepared. And actually it was at my sickest. I was so underweight. I was not on Eplum yet, so I was seizing multiple times a day. I was so sick, so sick. So it was just an awful time, but basically my disability taught me a lot of this, but I want everyone to, and I think this person being a single mum taught her the value of money. The value of money is bigger than what you think. Why do you think they do so much marketing? Because they want your money. But you need to think, when something entices you and it says, oh, buy this, it's in all these colors, say to yourself, okay, that sounds really good, but also what sounds good is my goal. My goal is awesome. I'm going to get a caravan and every weekend we're going to go on adventures. And I'm going to open that caravan door up and I'm going to look outside and go, hello, river. We're going to swim this morning. Don't need to shower. Just going to go for a swim in the river. I'm just saying, whatever your goal is, that's my goal. Not that I'll reach that one because caravans are very expensive. But anyway, one day maybe I will. But I'm just saying, please just understand the power of money and how that is your power. That is your money. And don't let anyone judge you for how you use it, because people don't know your bank account. Like, that's the other thing. If you see someone spending, you don't know what they've done to get to that point. With my Shein order, I'm sure people are thinking, how does she afford that on disability? Because I don't smoke and drink. I don't get to enjoy the restaurant meals, the takeaway meals because of my condition. And I sacrificed. I just went without a lot of different things and put the money there and said, right, well, I'm just going to use it. Because those things are actually kind of essential too, because with my full body edema, I was not fitting into my clothes. So nothing is wasted except for when I can wear them. That's why I've increased in massive amounts of unwasted clothes, as in nothing around the waist, because my heart fluid is just up and down. And I just can't be bothered in the morning, waking up, putting something on and going, it's going to hurt me and it's going to make me complain all day of sensory issues. It was really, it was a medical choice. And then I added in some fun stuff. Because like I said, that's my kryptonite, you know. I don't get to smoke and drink. I just don't get anything out of those things. I don't get anything out of food because I can't. I would if I could. That would be a choice. It would be dangerous. Caramel slice is a trap. It's crack cocaine. But anyway, that's just my advice to you. Just get rid of those credit cards and create a bank account that has the credit card amount in there, and you go, that's my credit card. And when you do take out, you've got to put back in, okay? You can do it. And if you can't do it at the moment, if this isn't possible, just think of a politician, put it on those blow-up things from Kmart, that's what I want to do, and just punch it, okay? You're not doing any harm, you're allowed to do that. It's perfectly legal. Just punch them. Put even like some of the mining companies on there. Just punch them. Whatever it takes. Because you deserve a car, a home, and the basics of life. And I'm so sorry if you are not being provided that right now. And especially disability supports and elderly supports. If you're elderly and you're not getting your needs met, or all of those categories, makes me angry. But all families and all individuals in general deserve a home. And I'm very appalled at these people that are renting these exorbitant priced houses and also rooms, as in putting people in a hallway and charging them $250 a week plus utilities. But they just get the front hallway at the front door. No bathrooms, shared bathroom. So anyway, it's shocking, guys. It's shocking. So if you don't think that this isn't a modern day, the Great Australian Depression 2.0, then yeah. So if you're blessed, just know that. And like I said, be sensible with your money, because it's power that you've got. That don't waste it, okay? Because just in case there's a day where something happens. And then second, to those people who don't have that yet, if you do, I hope these tips have given you a way of getting ahead, to be able to say to other people, no, I don't need you to pay for that for me, thanks. I can do it myself, ta. And it will feel great. And not having credit cards, guys, please, just, they're bad news. They're really just for the rich. You can get them if you're rich. It is true. You do get rewards for it. But I just don't recommend it for anyone, really. I think it's, well, I know it's designed. I've had many meetings with financial counsellors. I was in social welfare. Okay, they are designed to ruin your life. And it makes you lose a lot of sleep. I've been there. Because I wanted to give my kids the best life ever, and I would just buy things, you know. They were I was weak. I did the wrong thing. It's not their fault, it's me. But it's like I bought my children. And not that I didn't do all the other needs, but I was overcompensating for my childhood, because I was the poor kid that would go to birthday parties in a school uniform, that would turn up with a plastic bag at school with the old school uniform on or just clothes on, and it was embarrassing. So anyway, I overcompensated, and just, your kids don't need that. Just make sure they get your love and attention. They do need that. They do need that. They need to learn all the things about life. That's what they need. Cuddles, kisses, all of the things. Like if they're young, play with them. If they're older, just talk to them about life. Try and save them future stresses by giving them, you know, stories and telling them things so that they learn. They learn through you. Because what we want for our kids is a better life than what we had. Not just in our childhoods, but even our adulthoods. I want my kids to just not struggle like me as an adult. So that's just what we like. Parents are like, most parents are like that. Not all. Some parents are selfish as. Most parents are like that though. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. And if you have any suggestions for people to hear, do comment them below, because in Australia right now, people are struggling. So if you have a financial tip, please put it below for people to read and learn something from. The only things I won't be posting is if it breaches community guidelines or anything like that, then that's out of my hands. So I can't do that. But yeah, otherwise, go for it. I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you next video. Bye.